Hello everyone, I'm Sneha and welcome to our YouTube channel English Literature Desk. In previous video we have talked about modern age and I'm going to continue the discussion in this video too. I have talked about the literary trends of modern age, that was Imagism, Surrealism and Dadaism. I'm going to give a quick recap. Imagism was a moment in early 20th century American poetry, Anglo-American poetry, that favored precision of imagery and clear, sharp language. It has been described as the most influential moment in English poetry since the pre-Raphaelite. And the Surrealism was a cultural movement that began in the early 1920s and is best known for its visual artwork and writing. And Surrealist work featured the element of surprise, unexpected juxtaposition, and many more things. And Dadaism was an art of movement of the European avant-garde in the early 20th century, with early centers in Zurich, Switzerland at the Cabaret Voltaire. And today I'm going to let you give some glimpses from one of my book. It was from Paul Poplawski. This is the book. You can have a look at it, and if possible, please buy this. This is the best book for net so far. I'm going to give a brief chronology of 20th century 1901 to 1939, and in next episode I'm going to talk about 1939 to present age. It started with second in 1899. Second Boer War begins, and the notable literature of that is was of Henrik Ibsen's When We Did Awaken, Henry James, The Awkward Age, Arthur Wing Penrose, Trelawney of the Walls, Arthur Simmons, The Symbolist Moment in Literature, H.G. Wells' Tales of Peace, Space and Time, and W.B. Yeats's The Wind Among the Reeds. I'm going to read out loud the history and culture and literature of that period. You can have a notebook handy and you can write down it, because the chronology is most important thing for net point of view, because there are at least 4 to 5 questions from chronology. So that's why I am going to uh, mm, speak it loud for you. And the 1900 is none for a labor representation committee established, and Max Planck's quantum theory. And for literature, Joseph Conrad, Lord Jim, Penrose, the gay Lord Quex, and Wells, Love and Mr. Lewism. Sigmund Freud, the interpretation of dream, and Friedrich Nietzsche's Eco Homo. 1901 is notable for death of Queen Victoria, accession of Edward VII, funeral of Queen Victoria film. 75% of population lives in towns. And for in literature, it's Thomas Hardy's poem of past and present, Rudyard Kipling's Kim, G.B. Shaw's three plays for Puritan, George Wells' The First Man in the Moon, and W.B. Yeats's poems. 1902, Boulevard and Midwife's Act, and William James, The Varieties of Religious Experiences. First transatlantic telegraph from Macroni to King Edward VII. And for literature, it's Arnold Bannard's Anna of the Five Towns, Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, Walter de la Mare's Song of Childhood, Arthur Conan Doyle's The Hound of the Baskervilles, and James the King of Dove, Rudyard Kipling's Just Stories, and W.B. Yeats's Kathleen Nee Houlihan. 1903 is notable for the Workers' Education Association Foundation of Women's Social and Political Union, and for literature, Samuel Butler's The Way of All Place, Erskine Child like The Riddle of the Sands, Conrad's Typhoon, James the Ambassador, G.B. Saw's Man and Superman. It's a long thing, and I'm going to speak up only the few notable things for you. And 1904, we saw Graham Barry's Peter Pan, Joseph Conrad Nostromo, Hardy's The Dinahs, and James Dean's Rider to the Sea. In 1905, we have Ian Foster's Angel Fear to Trade, Harley Garnett Barker's The Voice Inheritance, G.B. Saw's Major Barbara, G.B. Edgewell's Skips, Oscar Wilde's De Profundis, and 1906 we have Delia Mayer's poem, Everyman's Library series being publication, Modern Language Review, W. Yeats's poetical works. 1907 we have Joseph Conrad, The Secret Agent, Ian Foster's The Longest Journey, Edmund Goe's Father and Son, James Joyce's Chamber Music, and Singe, the Playboy of the Western World. In meantime, I'm going to discuss and explain each of these texts. I'm just trying to give you a rough chronology of these periods, so you can have write it down and you can learn it. 1910, we have Bennett's The Old Wives' Tale, W. H. Davis' Autobiography of a Supertramp, and Wales' The War in the Air. In 1909, we have Galsworthy's Strife, Hardy's Time's Laughing Stock, Ezra Pound's Personae, Wales and Veronica and Tono Bungay. 1910, we have Bennett's Clayhanger, Essays and Studies, Ian Foster's Howard Sand, H.G. Wells' The History of Mr. Polly, Yeats' The Green Hamlet. In 1911, we have Bennett's Hilda Leswig, Rupert Brooke poems, Joseph Conrad Under Western Night, D.H. Lawrence's The White Peacock, and Catherine Misfield's In a German Pension. In 1912, we have Robert Bridges' poetical works, Mayer's The Listeners, Lawrence's The Trespasser, Thomas Mann's Death in Venice, Georgian Poetry, and Poetry Review. In 1913, we have Lawrence's Son and Lover, and Compton Magazine, and Sinister Street, and many more things. In 1914, we have Blast, a review of the great English vortex. Wyndham Lewis announces Vorticism, The Egoist, Hardy's Satires of Circumstances, James Notes on Novelist, James Joyce's Dubliners, Lawrence's The Prussian Officer, The Widowing of Mrs. Horrible, Ezra Pound's These Images, and H.G. Wells' The World Set Free, and W.B. Yeats's Responsibility. And in 1914, the historical chronology was Home Rule Act passed but later suspended because of war. And in 1915, we have Richard Arlington Images, Bennett's These Twain, Brooke 1914 and other poems, George Buchan's The 39 Steps, Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis, Lawrence's The Rainbow, Somerset Maugham's The Human Bondage, Dorothy Richardson Pointed Roofs, and Virginia Woolf's The Voice Out. In 1960, we have Breeze's The Spirit of Man, Harold Brinkhouse's Hobson's Choice, Hardy's Selected Poems, H.G. Wells's Mr. Beitling Sees It Through. And 1917, we have T.S. Eliot's Proof Rock Another Observation, Hardy's Moments of Vision, Lawrence's Look We Have Come Through, Edward Thomas' poems, Yeats' The Wild Swans at Cool. In 1918 and in 1917, the other moment is launched in Zurich. In 1918, we have End of First World War, Brooks' collected poem in literature, Joyce's Exiles, William Levin's Stars, Mansfield Prelude, Caesar Swanson Counterattack, Edward Thomas' last poem, Rebecca Will's The Return of the Soldier. And 1919, we have Aldington Image of War, Wolfe's Night and Day, G.B. South Heartbreak House, Sajun's War Poem. In 1920, we have Agatha Christie's The Mysterious Affairs of Styles, T.S. Eliot's The Sacred Wood, Lawrence's Women in Love and the Lost Girl, Mansfield's Bliss, Ezra Pound's Hugh Selwyn Marbury, H.G. Wells's The Outline of History, W. Yeats's Michael Roberts and the Dancer. In 1921, we have Aldous Huxley, Chrome Yellow, and G.B. Swords Back to Methuselah. In 1921, the Criterion, edited by T.S. Eliot, and the Westland Galsworthy's The Forsyte Saga, Hardy's late lyrics, and earlier I.A. Ditcher's Principle of Literary Criticism, Mary Sinclair, The Life and Death of Harriet Freen, Wolfe's Jacob's Room. In 1923, we have The Adelphi by J.M. Bury, Huxley's Antique Hay, Lawrence's The Ladybird, Kangaroo, Birds, Beasts and Flowers, Macaulay's Told by an Idiot, Yuno Cassie's The Shadow of a Gunman. In 1924, we have Ford's Some Do Not, Foster's A Passage to India, T. Williams' Speculations, O'Casey, Juno and the Peacock, Swords and Joan. And 1925, we have Calendar of Modern Letters, Noel Coward's Hay Fever, Ernest Hemingway's In Our Time, Lawrence's Saint Maud, and Wolfe's The Mr. Delaveau, The Common Reader, Yeats a Vision. 1926, we have Ford's Man Could Stand Up, Lawrence's The Plumed Serpent, T. Lawrence's Several Pillars of Wisdom. Agivis, we have The World of William Clissold. And O'Casey's, we have The Plough and the Stars. And in 1927, we have Foster's aspect of the novel, Robert Graves and Laura writing a survey of modernist poetry, Woolf's The To the Lighthouse, Jean Rice The Left Bank. In 1928, we have Ford's Last Poet, Hardy's Winter Works, Huxley's Point Counterpoint, D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover, O'Casey's The Silver Tassie, Wright The Quartet, Wolfe's Orlando, Yeats The Tower, Evelyn Waugh's Decline and Fall. 1929, we have William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury, Bridges' The Testament of Beauty, Robert Graves' Goodbye to All That, Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms, D.H. Lawrence's Pansies, David Priestley's The Good Companion, and Franz film version, Wolfe's A Room of One Sound, the most controversial and beautiful work by her. I have read it few times and I loved it completely. 1930, W.H. Auden poems, Eliot's As Wednesday, Faulkner's As I Lay Dying, Hardy's collected poem, D.H. Lawrence, The Virgin and the Gypsy, Lewis's The Apps of God, Morgan's Cakes and L, Rise After Leaving Mr. Mackenzie, Walk, Wild Bodies, and G.B. Saw's The Apple Cart. In 1931, we have D.H. Lawrence's Apocalypse, Wolfe's The Waves. In 1932, we have Auden's The Orators, Eliot, Sweeney Agonists and Selected Essays, D.H. Lawrence's Last Poem, Huxley's Brave New World, Priestley's Dangerous Corner, Scrutiny, F.R. Lewis, Wolfe, The Second Common Reader. In 1933, we have Auden's The Dance of Death, Vera Brittain's Testament of Youth, Compton Burnett's More Women Than Men, Walter Greenwood, Love on the Dole, George Orwell's Down and Out in London and Paris, Stephen Spender poems, Yeats the Winding Stair. In 1934, we have Eliot's The Rock, James The Art of the Novel, D.H. Lawrence's The Tales, MacDermid's Stony Limits, Orwell's Burmese Days, Pound Make It New, Priestley's English Journey, Rise Boys in the Dark. In 1935, we have Eliot's Mother in the Cathedral, Crompton Burnett's A House and Its Head, Isservit Mr. Norris Changes Trains, Louis Mackney's poem, Orwell's A Clergyman's Daughter, and Penguin Books launches its first 10 six-penny paperbacks. 1936, we have Auden, Lucas Stranger, Winifred Holsby, South Riding, Huxley's Eyeless in Gaza, Orwell's Keep the SPT Flying, and Dylan Thomas' 25 poems. In 1937, we have Auden and Mackney's Letters from Iceland, Isabel's Sally Wolf, David Jones in parentheses, Lewis Jones, Comedy, Orwell's The Road to Wigan Pier, Priestley's Time and Now It, Wolfe's The Years. In 1938, we have Bobbins' The Death of the Heart, Idris Davis' Gwalior Deserter, was Scoop, and Wolf's Three Guineas. 1939, we have Eliot's The Family Reunion, Isherwood's Goodbye to Berlin, Joyce Finnegan's Wake, Macni's Autumn Journal, Rise Good Morning, a Spender poem for Spain. If in case you are wondering that why I am orating all this for you, because many of you complain me that you are not able to remember all this. So maybe sometimes if someone else is reciting it for you, it is easy to remember, or you can write down it in your copy. I know many of you have notes for that, but it's always handy to write down and read it every now and then, and I'm sure it is going to help you. We have already talked about literary moments in historical review overview. We know that it's a time for World War One and World War Two, and historical and literature field. Although the writers were writing a lot of things, but the historical background of this period is quite frightening and filled with the First World War and its aftermath. And Britain between the wars, politics, economics, and social changes. There are so many social changes that Britishers are at their worst at that time. We can say that. And literary overview, we can tell that say that modernism is the most popular term and the most popular period for writers, and we love it as we are also belong to the modernism. Modernism is basically a complex and contested label within literary studies, and some critics now prefer to talk of desperate modernism rather than of one overarching modernism. It is a loose retrospective label which so used much earlier, only come into regular use in literary studies in the 1960s. And you must remember that the term modernism was never used before 1960. And these moments, the modernist movement, include naturalism, symbolism, imagism, futurism, cubism, vorticism, expressionism, and surrealism. And in the light of such a list, it is useful to bear in mind a well-known description of modernism as an appallingly explosive fusion of many different and often contradictory trends, and it makes the modernism unique in my point of view, that there are so many different theories and critics, and both each one of them have their own point of view and their own theory, but they come together and make modernism a huge success by including all of them respecting each other's view, and it was quite a historical moment the modernism was. English language modernism is usually defined as the experimental and innovative literature of the period, roughly between 1839 and 1939. And 1819 to 1939 is the early period of modernism, and it was full of struggle. And as there were so many theories are emerging, and the new writers are there to discuss things and to prove their point at some extent, it was quite a struggleful period, and it is the early period of modernism. And as the time progresses, the modernists came to the conclusion that they can coexist. And for some critics, modernism has meant only James Joyce and a handful of other radical innovators such as Ezra Pound, T.S. Eliot, Virginia Woolf, and Dorothy Richardson, while others have a more expensive view of the term and apply it to a much wider range of writers. And in my opinion, that was much good because modern doesn't consist of only few poets. It's a large array of thoughts and themes and theories, and each one worked for literature way too much, and we should must acknowledge their opinion, their contribution to literature. And the form, genre, and style, we have already talked about it. The critics traditionally identify modernism and realism as the two main lines of stylistic development within this period. In the past, and for some still today, there has been also been an implied value judgment in this division. From one point of view, experimental modernist writing has been seen as the genuinely new, original, and authentic art of century, while realist art has been considered as simply a plodding continuation of worthy but outmoded 19th century form. And as I said earlier, there are so many viewpoints regarding the modernism and its existence, and as there were so many ideologies that we can't pick one and left others. So I'm going to basically explain few of the writers from modernism period, and then we will